Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I thought I wanted to do my very first low buy check-in, and I thought I wanted to do this every month, but I'm not completely sure yet. It kind of depends on how much I have to share, I guess. So maybe we'll turn it into like a quarterly thing. I'll see as we go along throughout 2020. But I'm starting this a month into the Low Buy Challenge 2020. We have plenty that I started by the start of this year. And can I just say that it is amazing to see how many of you are in on the challenge. And just flicking through the hashtag on Instagram, I'm so proud and I'm so honored to see so many of you joining in on this challenge, and I cannot wait to see where this takes us, both as a community but also each of us individually, how we will all learn to hopefully become better consumers, which is the whole point with this challenge. So before I get any further into the video, I just want to go through the rules that I've set for myself one more time, and I'll put in the infographic that I've made right here on the screen. You can find this on my blog, you can find it on Pinterest. Print it out, do whatever you want with it to sort of help you to get some guidance and remind you of this challenge and why you are doing it. First rule is that I have allowed myself to swap or buy secondhand items as long as it's something that I really want to add on to my wardrobe. So not something I just buy because I like it, but something that I consider to be adding on to what I already have in my wardrobe. So for me, this is not really anything new. What could be new for me though is to explore the world of renting clothing or swapping with my friends. And definitely feel free to tweak the rules. They're not like completely set. They're just an idea and some inspiration for you guys. But something that struck me is that I might not have taken into consideration that plus size people, for example, they have trouble finding the right clothing for them among the sustainable brands. And this is a huge problem. It's something that I've talked about before and I'm fully aware. I guess I wasn't really thinking about this when I made the rules. And I think right now the most sustainable thing is to buy something from a conventional brand, but then have quality in mind and still have like this concept that I'm always talking about on my channel in mind, that, you know, less is more, and really only buy the things that you know you're gonna love and you're gonna reach for many years. Because like I've mentioned also a lot of times before, the most sustainable thing we can do is to use what we have in our wardrobes, and the only way that we can use what we have more effectively is by investing in pieces we know we're gonna love for a really long time and that will last for a really long time. I just wanted to put that out there, that yes, I made those rules, but it doesn't mean you can't tweak them so they fit you, and I'm sure you will do amazing anyway. As long as you are aware of these things, you're already ahead of the game. So don't be too harsh on yourself. That's probably my top tip right now, and also something that I've learned this first month of the Low Buy Challenge. So another thing that I wanted to cover in this video is no buy versus low buy, and I also did that in my first video, the video that I made that kind of started the whole thing and kind of explains why I'm doing this, not only as an influencer but also as a consumer. And the reason why I'm doing a low buy instead of a no buy is because, first of all, I don't feel like it's doable for me anyway to do a completely no buy. I would set myself up for failure, and I would put a lot of pressure on you guys as well, and I don't want to set any like unrealistically high standards for this challenge. I want everybody to feel like it's something they can do. Another reason why I'm not doing a no buy challenge is because when we speak sustainability, like sustainable fashion, it's really important to also keep social sustainability in mind. There are so many people in this industry who rely on their jobs, whether it being in the design department to the production department. There are so many people involved in this very, very complex industry that a complete ban wouldn't necessarily solve the problems socially anyway. I know that when looking at the environment, there are a lot of things that should be done, but I really want to be part of forming an entirely new industry, a completely new fashion industry and a new way of buying clothing, basically. And those who really need us, like those who are doing ethical fashion and doing fair trade businesses, they really need our support. So that's why I am more keen on a low buy versus a no buy. I think that boycotting fast fashion can be part of the solution for sure, like it should be part of the solution. But when you do that, you should definitely also support the ethical brands who are doing something to change up the entire industry. And also going for like vintage concepts, like vintage shops, vintage stores that are again trying to unravel this whole industry and build a completely new one. I wrote a blog post recently about my six best tips on making the first few steps into ethical fashion easier on yourself. And I keep sort of comparing this whole thing to dieting. And you'll hear all of the experts say that, a diet is not the solution. Just as I think, starving yourself is not the solution. It's not about the diet, it's about changing your entire lifestyle. And I think it's the same thing with fashion and style and the way you consume fashion. It's not about, removing yourself from certain stuff. It's about looking at what you can do to change your lifestyle and the way that you look at clothing in general. So also just wanted to put that out there. Again, I think it's cool that a lot of you have been doing no buy challenge, and I think it's probably a great way to start and to get you excited for the rest of the year. But just remember to think about the whole thing more long term as well. Like, what are you gonna do after the no buy? How are you gonna consume fashion in the future? So let's talk about how this first month went for me. How did it go for you? Was it challenging? Have you discovered any frustrations? Have you had any success? Have you discovered something about yourself as a consumer already? And is it something you would like to share with me and the rest of the girls or guys in here on my channel? Feel free to leave it down below. I would love to hear you guys' stories. I think it's amazing to see how diverse the 2020 We Have Plenty community is. Like, there are women of all shapes and sizes in there, and I think it's amazing and it's so inspiring. So thank you all so much for using the hashtag. Please don't stop, please keep going. So for me personally, it's been going really well. Like I said before, this way of shopping and looking at fashion is not really that new to me because it's something that I've been doing for years, and it's a way of consuming fashion that I've slowly taught myself over the years that this is how I'm doing it. So in that sense, I don't really feel like I've been depriving myself from anything or like it's been super challenging in any way. I will say though that the place I'm gonna make the biggest effort is probably in me as an influencer and the way that I choose to work with brands. I've also listened to some of the criticism that I've gotten from you guys lately regarding specific brands that I've been working with in the past, and you guys have taught me a lot, so thank you so much for that. And in general, I just want peace, I want more peace. I want to just focus on what I have in my wardrobe, unless something really exciting like that Tencel campaign I did back in December. That was a partnership that I was unbelievably proud of, and something that, I'm just so proud of that. Tencel is a great trademark. It's something that I hardly have anything bad to say about it. So if something like that comes up again, then I will of course say yes, because I also consider it my job to spread the word about brands and concepts that are doing great and then pass that knowledge on to you guys. But I definitely don't want to be one of those influencers who just say yes to any types of giftings and any type of brands. I'm gonna narrow it down even further than I've done since I started, and then hopefully I can make a living out of it anyway. It's definitely not all about the money, but I want to be fairly paid for my work and my effort. I think that's only fair. So it's been Fashion Week in Denmark last week, and I started a completely new network with 4 other amazing boss ladies from Denmark who are all very well known for their activity with sustainable fashion in each their own way. And I am so proud to be part of that group. So I started a new community with 4 other amazing women here in Denmark, and 2 of them are unbelievably wise. They know everything about sustainable fashion, I'm almost tempted to say. And I went to one of their speeches during Copenhagen Fashion Week last week, and a lot of the knowledge that I've kind of covered already in this video is actually something that they have spurred on. That's something that I got from them. I'm already so much wiser. So because of that, I've become more aware, I would say, than ever of how complex sustainable fashion is. And it's something I already know, but it's made me a bit more calm, because Sometimes I can get kind of frustrated because I don't necessarily have the right answers for you guys. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this low buy challenge is to not only give myself a peace of mind and just be able to breathe for a while, but also you guys, because it can be incredibly hard to figure out if you're doing the right thing or not. I would say something that I've learned throughout this past month is if you're ever in doubt, look for certifications. Any form of certifications, like well-known certifications like Fair Trade or GOTS certified cotton, any of those like bigger certifications, if a brand has one of those, then you should be pretty much good to go. So I will say that's definitely something that can simplify the whole process for us as consumers. If we're ever in doubt, look for certifications. I know it's not all brands that have these certifications, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad brand, but if you're in doubt and if you're feeling super overwhelmed, it's easier to just look for a certification. Otherwise, low buy, focus on what you already have and love what you have in your wardrobe. That is the single most sustainable thing you can do anyway. So I have made a couple new purchases, and don't come at me because these are purchases that still comply with my overall rules and my checklist. So I recently went to Berlin and I visited a bunch of amazing secondhand stores while I was down there. And one of my favorites was the store called Vintage, what was it called? Kilo? Pick and Wait. Yeah, so definitely super cool concept. I love that store and I could have spent hours in there. And so far I only have two purchases that I want to add on to my wardrobe. And then of course I'm still allowed to make replacements. So if one of my white t-shirts is completely stained, I can still replace it with a new one or something like that. I do have a replacement that I will show you in a minute as well. I picked up this amazing blue dress in Pick and Wait in Berlin. It's a bit creased right now. You might remember that I talked about a specific tea dress that I sold on my secondhand store a while back, and I regret it so much. So I was kind of looking for something similar to that. I sold that dress last summer, so I know it's something, you know, I've liked this specific style for a really long time, and it's just something that I've been wanting to add to my wardrobe for a really long time. So I stumbled upon this really cute navy blue dress with sort of like a white flower print all over it, and I just think it's so cute. You could wear this with a jumper on top, a pair of boots. You could wear it even over a pair of blue jeans as sort of like a kimono. You could wear it with a biker jacket, you can wear it with sneakers, you can wear it with espadrilles for a summer night out or something like that if you just want to feel a bit more feminine. And I'm so happy with this purchase. I cannot wait to wear it, although there will be some time before I actually can wear it. So I actually just washed it when I came home and I popped it directly into storage, and then I can just look forward to the time where I can actually be able to wear it. And I think that definitely shows that it's something that I love, although it might seem somewhat of a paradox that I love something, bring it home and then pack it away right away, but it's something that I love so much that I can easily wait until the right time comes, because I know I will love it all through the summer and hopefully for years to come as well. Another thing that I've been looking for, also while I was in Berlin, I was trying my best to see if I could find it at any of the vintage stores, is sort of like a powder blue blazer. And I just know it's gonna fit really well together with any like beige or brown colors that I have in my wardrobe already. So I just know it's gonna fit seamlessly into my wardrobe. And many of you guys know that I love a good everyday uniform. My favorite outfit uniform is a blazer, some sort of a top, and a pair of jeans. So I know I'm gonna love a light blue blazer. So I'm definitely gonna look at Vestiaire Collective to see if I can find a blazer in there. This brown blazer that I have here, I actually found that one on Vestiaire Collective, so it should probably be doable to find a light blue one. So those are sort of items I have in my wardrobe plan and on my wish list. Bought one of them, still have one of them left on my wish list. So for a replacement, this is actually something that I ordered right before the Christmas holiday, but I just didn't get it before January. Oh, cold coffee. Ugh. So these are a pair of vintage Levi's jeans, but they are from Redone. So Redone and Levi's have done a collaboration where Redone takes old vintage Levi's jeans, tear them apart, and then turn them into new amazing fits, new more modern fits. And you guys probably know, if you've been following me for a long time, that a way that I've been enjoying these sort of like vintage Levi's jeans in the past is that I have been ordering them from ASOS Marketplace, specifically from a vintage store called Avelina's Vintage, which is located in Spain. So a bit closer to me than these that come all the way from the US to Denmark. And I'll get back to that in a minute. But yeah, I have been ordering vintage Levi's 501 jeans in there, and then when I receive the jeans, I would just alter them myself and make them fit more flattering on my legs, and that's always worked really nicely. So I already had a pair of those kind of jeans in my wardrobe from Avelina's Vintage that I had then altered myself. Thing is that I've lost a bit of weight, and I've been taking them in several times through the last couple of years, and they just didn't look great anymore. I've popped them in my storage right now, so I still have them, and I'm kind of contemplating seeing if I can turn them into a pair of jeans this summer, or not jeans, shorts this summer, to see if I can save them that way, or, you know, save them for something else. So I've popped them in storage, and then I had been looking for a new pair. So back in December, I ordered a new pair from Avelina's Vintage, and I got the jeans, and they just didn't fit anyway as I had hoped. They didn't look like the wash on the image. They had a zip fly, and I have this thing about button flies. Like, that is for me what a vintage pair of Levi's jeans should have, a proper button fly. I know it's really weird, but it's something, you know, it's really important that it's the right jean. So they didn't fit, and they didn't have the right fly, so I thought, you know what, I'm not gonna bother, I'm gonna send them back. So I returned the jeans, and I went, you know what, I'm gonna try Redone, because I have a lot of US-based followers who would probably really appreciate a review on a pair of Redone Levi's jeans. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna order a pair of Redone Levi's jeans, even though they get shipped all the way from the US, and the taxes for the jeans is ridiculous. And looking back now, I would probably have preferred finding a pair of Levi's jeans next time I'm in London anyway, bring them home, alter them, all that jazz that I always do, instead of ordering them all the way from the US. Because yes, the fit is amazing. They look so flattering on me, but for the price, I would say if you have the skills, you can do it just as well yourself. And that's what I've realized. That's something that I have learned this past month. I love these jeans, and I'm gonna wear them to death. I already have. Lesson learned, bought them, replaced another pair, and I am happy about them. Fit everything in my wardrobe. They are a classic pair of vintage Levi's jeans, which I have this huge passion for. I also just quickly wanted to mention, because I shared this whole thing with you over on my Instagram, and I got some feedback from some of you saying that this was not in any way sustainable because they came all the way from the US to Denmark. And in some ways, yes, it is sustainable, because first of all, it's reworked material, so it's resources that we already had available that were just turned into a new fit. I'm gonna wear these until they can't be worn anymore. So again, I've mentioned this a lot of times lately, that the single most important thing that determines whether an item is sustainable or not is how long you choose to keep it in your wardrobe. So the longer you keep it in your wardrobe, the more sustainable it is. Financially, it's not a very sustainable choice of me to make, because again, they were extremely expensive. But I actually read a really interesting article on Good On You. If you don't know Good On You already, find them on Instagram, install their app. It's the easiest way for you to see if a fashion brand is really as ethical or sustainable as they claim. But they actually wrote an article, very timely, all about shipping and the environmental costs of fashion. So their question was kind of, what is better, buying ethical online or buying fast fashion locally? In my city, we basically only have conventional fashion stores. We don't have any ethical brands. Yes, we have a lot of charity shops. I visit them regularly, and let me just read what they said in that article that I think is really important in this matter. Due to harmful time and cost-cutting initiatives, a high street fast fashion item will have a considerably higher carbon footprint overall than its ethical counterpart, even if the ethical items is coming from the other side of the world. I'll leave the link for the article down below for you guys if you want to dig deeper into this subject. And also, before you say something about this, please read that article, because there are, again, many sides to this whole thing, and there's a lot of like hidden things when speaking carbon footprint and shipping in general. So it definitely made me feel a bit better when I read that article, that my purchase was not completely unsustainable. It was actually indeed a pretty sustainable choice, but just not financially. And then also, would I recommend the jeans to you guys? Yes. If you don't have the skills to alter a pair of vintage Levi's jeans yourself, if you're sick and tired of the hunt that it can be to find the perfect fitting pair of vintage Levi's jeans, try this brand for sure. I would definitely recommend it. But they are pricey, be aware of that. And I would also say that you shouldn't do it unless you live in the States, because the taxes and everything just makes it a lot more expensive. And if you have the skills to remake your own, then that could be a solution as well. I highly believe that, and it's probably what I will go back to if I ever wear these jeans out at some point. So I think that's it. That's all I wanted to cover in this first check-in video of the Low Buy Challenge for 2020. Like I said, please leave anything that you've learned or anything you've discovered about yourself as a consumer or anything down below. I would love to read your stories. Thank you guys so much for all of your support, and again for participating in this challenge. It means the world to me. And yeah, I will see you very soon with another check-in. Bye.